Yo, what's going on, YouTube? And welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, and I just found myself getting goosebumps making this video because this has been so long in the making for the New York Islanders, as the New York Islanders are ready to open up their home season. And yes, they have not played a home game yet this season. They've had a 13-game road trip to start this season. They have not fared too well, especially down in Florida, getting absolutely mauled by the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Florida Panthers, and even a little bit before that. But the Islanders head home. And for the Islanders fan base, and probably for the players and coaches alike, this is the chance for the Islanders to really start their season. And the New York Islanders, after so long, this was an Islanders organization before Lou Lamoriello, before Barry Trotz. There was so many questions about this team. They had ownership that just couldn't get a new building on the spot where the Islanders had played at the Coliseum. They had the Lighthouse project. They went to Barclays Center in Brooklyn. That didn't work. They go back to the Coliseum. Obviously, that wasn't a long-term situation. And now, just a little bit down the road, a little bit further into, closer toward Queens, UBS Arena is the new home of the New York Islanders at Belmont Park. And the Islanders this weekend will be playing their first game at this new building. They will be christening this building, and this is really exciting for the Islanders. Now, again, the reason they had that tough road trip to start was they weren't sure the building was going to be ready yet. And as they kind of finished things up, obviously the pandemic had put a little bit of a hold on the building for about 2 or 3 weeks. The NHL made it a priority to make sure the Islanders get in there this season, as their deal with the Coliseum was just getting too gross and nasty. And I say that about the business side of things and the relationship side of things, but in terms of the actual building, if you went in there last season, there were a couple times you had to watch where you were look above you because water would drip on you randomly in that second deck. So it got to the point where they had to get rid of that building. And I don't know the future of the Coliseum. Maybe the Rangers buy it as a practice instead of going up to Westchester. I don't know. But for the New York Islanders, it's time to turn the chapter, as this has been something really since, 2008, probably, maybe even sooner than that. The Islanders have been talking about putting a new building for this hockey team. And I'm looking through these pictures right now, and all I could say, and really just, I get the sense of like goosebumps. Like, this is just incredible for this team to finally have ownership that kind of says, you know what, we're sick of this. We're going to give the fans what they want. Now, there is some things I have to talk about. We'll get to that later. But we want the fans to have a good experience at the game. We're going to, ask the fans what they want. Obviously, taking a train into Brooklyn was not the solution. That was the first thing fans had told John Ledecky. This isn't working. Next thing you know, the Islanders beat out, I think it was the New York Cosmos, to build their stadium on that property. Man, if the Islanders lost that, wouldn't have been pretty. But the Islanders are set to open this building. I'm looking at pictures right now, and it is just so exciting to see the Islanders in a new building. And there is some concern, and I'm going to get to that right now. So this is going to be interesting. The Islanders play their first game, and outside the building the other night, there were signs. People are starting to go in, check it out. There were signs outside the building that said, no tailgating and no honking per New York State regulations. Now, the question is, supposedly they're saying this will be heavily enforced. Now, the problem is when there's 50, 80, probably more people honking on the way out of the building when the Islanders win that game against Calgary, what are they going to do? Are they going to give a ticket to all those people? I mean, how does that work? You can't really do that. So, very, very interesting to see how they handle that. Of course, the tailgating thing is a little bit easier to enforce but again, when you're going to give everybody a ticket because they're tailgating, again, that's kind of, I don't know what they're going to do with that. But this is something, it's going to be interesting how the fans react, because I know my Islander fans, they're very passionate. They don't like taking no for an answer. So I wonder what they're going to do about this situation. You look at the inside of the the outside of the building is phenomenal. You see the little lighthouse post. That's kind of what I'm looking at it as. It looks spectacular. And then, not to mention, you go inside. The main foyer looks incredible. You got the stairs going up when you scan your tickets. You go up into the main foyer. Looks beautiful. The shop looks incredible. You got all that brick, that brickwork. Looks very at home. It looks like your den. So I guess that's a little bit better than the corporate synergy we've seen from other places where it's keep it as blank as possible, nothing to look at except the merchandise. The Islanders kind of stayed away from that, and they have kind of embraced the looking like an actual an Islander shop, and I think they did a good job of that. Obviously, all the ceilings very modern looking, and I'm looking through these pictures, and I'll put them up for you guys here as well. The Jumbotron looks great. The exterior looks great. The lighting is a lot better than the Barclays Center or even the Coliseum for that matter. Very nice. And this is just really, this is the next step for the Islanders, because this has always been a problem for the Islanders in terms of signing free agents and stuff. They always had to overpay. I mean, you look at what they still had to deal with Andrew Ladd and that contract that is now with the Arizona Coyotes. The Islanders couldn't get guys to come in on team-friendly contracts or stay, for that matter. John Tavares. So that was a key thing for the Islanders, and because of their arena situation, nobody, basically it's kind of like recruiting in a sense, but it's basically, you're going in to sign a free agent. Somebody calls and says, yeah, those guys don't have a building, right? Like, you don't know where you're going to play. You want to sign an 8-year deal. They're not going to be playing there in 3 years. Do you want to sign up for that? And then those guys go elsewhere, and they, it's not a hard sell in that regard in terms of keeping guys away from you. The Islanders were pretty much repelling players away, and now that has sort of changed. You look at the guys that are sticking around, they see the building, they see what's going on with the Islanders in terms of success. I mean, winning cures all. The Islanders have done that, and now to stack on top of that, they now have a new building, and man, sometimes you need something really bad to happen in your life to change things. I think for the Islanders, they needed John Tavares to leave, because you look at just the turnaround of this organization since he's left. And I guess this video is kind of rambled into that point, but it's very nice to see the Islanders as a legitimate non-joke franchise. And those days when they were talking about maybe going to Kansas City to become the Kansas City Islanders and stuff like that, it was tough, but the Islanders seem to be moving past that. They've got this beautiful building they're going to open up to fans, and man, this is really exciting. So, best of luck to the Islanders in their new home. It's definitely going to be a little bit different. There's not going to be that history. Oh, remember when they won this playoff game? Oh, remember when we sat here and they won that game in overtime? There's not going to be any of that charm early on. But I think as this team, especially right now, this is a team that could christen this new building, dare I say, with that championship. And I don't want to even jinx it, but in 2022, the Islanders will be in that conversation. So we're going to see what happens. But guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What do you think of the Islanders' new building? What do you think of the particular signs outside telling you not to do certain things? Let me know what you guys think down below. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you again next time.